This would probably be an opportunistic time, Justin. If you had to pick 5 items that every viewer should have for emergency, we'll say tornado, storm, flooding, safety, what items would you put in a box that is easily accessible?
Well, I know Tuesday when we got ready for round 2, we made sure all of our flashlights were charged, made sure our phones were charged, got the generator ready in case the water went out or the power went out. We had to power up our fridge and our freezer because we don't want to lose all the food. I guess the water doesn't really, I'm thinking something to eat, but just make sure I kept my fridges closed, my freezers closed. I don't know. A raft. We could have used one. We live on a hill. That'd be kind of nice. If I had to pick 5 items to add to an emergency safety box, I'd probably put definitely flashlights, charged flashlights. Charged fully, yeah.
Any sort of power bank that you have. I have a Jackery power bank. I always make sure it's charged. I also have jumper packs and stuff.
I have a jumper pack too.
You should always make sure it's charged. You can charge your phone off of that. You're not going to run your AC or anything off of that. You want to make sure, I'd say in the same box, you probably want to have at least a candle or 2.
Yeah.
And that's just for like long-term power outages. Eventually the rechargeable flashlight's going to die or whatever. But you want to be able to get around your house pretty easily, and leaving a candle like in one of the walkways would be easiest. Long-term, oh gosh, what would be 2 more things that I put in an emergency bag? Some sort of radio, some sort of like, when your phone's dead, if we'd have had any longer of a period of time that it was dead and the weather was still maintained crappy, you'd want some sort of emergency radio still, because the weather broadcasts or whatever, they override it. And then, gosh, for one more last thing, I don't even know what else would be the last thing. Maybe, I was going to say batteries, but that'd be kind of dumb. What really takes batteries anymore,
unless your flashlights do, it's not bad to have it.
Yeah.
I like your idea of a radio because you never know. It's just that's always the old school way to listen. Especially we rely on our phones and the information so much due to, how many, you still can get local channels and that, but it's not like back in the day. Everybody streams everything, so how often do you actually just turn on the news?
Yeah, right.
I very rarely do. I read, and that's about it to get my information like that. And, fortunately, we get alerts on our phone when bad weather's coming, and this is just, that Monday morning, with that one that came through Monday was like that. I love storms, and I usually love just sitting out and watching them roll through. But that wind, how bad it was, that was concerning to me, where typically I'm not a person that runs into my basement, which bad advice. If you're weather-wise, if you're being told to go sit in your basement, you should sit in your basement.
Definitely.
But that kind of scared me a little bit, how those winds were bad. And I was, like I said, I was waiting for that tree to fall down, and it could have saved you some money, and so we didn't have to cut it down.
Yep.
Mother Nature would have taken care of it for you. Hopefully
that'd have been pretty cool.
It wouldn't have damaged anything, but we always joke around about I can get a free roof or I can get that, but really at the end of the day, we just want to be safe, and last resort is, you don't want to have to use your homeowner's insurance. No. At the end of the day, it's just, it sucks. I'm glad I didn't really hear of any fatalities or anything, which is, I'm glad everybody stayed safe and did the proper things to stay safe. I didn't really, was it Thursday night? Is that when we got the other storm too?
And Friday night, it was both.
So Friday, because the alarms went off how many times?
Dude, 12 times. They need to fire that guy, dude.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't even bad.
Yeah.
This is just rain.
So I was talking to my electrician this morning when I saw him, and he said that, because I was bitching about that, and he's like, there was touchdown in Waukesha County, and that may have been why they were setting them off. But I'm like, you shouldn't be setting off tornado sirens when it's 45 minutes away. I get a tornado can move pretty fast in any direction, but to me that's more of a hey, we're within a 20-15 minute distance now. Panic, panic. Calmly start moving to a safe area. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. But this is the closest to home. If I had everybody said the same thing, this is the closest to home tornadoes have ever been for them ever. Like you said the other night, the lake effects usually keep you pretty safe because the lake, for some reason, Lake Michigan draws the bad weather, so we usually never get pounded. But I know Milwaukee, like a lot of the guys live in Milwaukee, they've got flooded basements, like bad flooded, sub pumps that died, power outages. There was neighbors you and me that had power out till
Oh yeah,
Thursday.
I mean, that was my brother and my sister. My brother's power was out for over, I think, 48 hours.
Yep.
And then my sister as well.
Did he have a generator?
Yeah, he's got one of those Generac ones.
Ah, yeah. So,
But he was, and I asked, because I asked him, I was like, so what is that? Does that just power up your whole house again? And he said, no. He's like, it powers up everything in the basement and then all my appliances.
yeah.
And then he was actually letting his neighbor draw power off of it too.
See, and I mean, you can go so many different routes with it, right? You could do some sort of like solar power bank. You could do the Generac generators. You could do so I actually have a gasoline generator. And I mean, you have basically the same thing, just the quieter
smaller,
version.
Yeah.
Those are the improved versions. Mine's like a giant generator, actually on like a motor that spins a generator, which is pretty cool. I don't know how much amp draw it could take, but obviously, like the more load you put on it, the more gasoline you're gonna burn.
Yeah.
So I'll be very interested at some point, hopefully no time soon, to try it just to see, because if the power ever goes out again, I'll plug the appliances in, and at this point I could run an extension cord to the oven, the microwave, whatever,
And that's what, and I think too, like no power. That's why I have like a bunch of backup propane for the grills and that, whatever, so I can
backup
cook out
plans.
there.
You got to be thinking about the backup plans.
Yeah.
Propane, there you go. Add that to
Yeah.
your emergency box.
Yeah.
You have a couple, even if you've got just like a couple tanks of propane on the side.
Yeah.
I think prep is another really big part. Like if you're not going to take the storm seriously, that's fine, but you should always have your stuff ready. Your downspouts should always be clean. You should always have an extra thing of gasoline if you don't have gas in our
Vehicle,
case, in your stuff. I mean, you just never know really what could happen. Like filling up before a storm could be something really trivial. You could end up siphoning the gas out for your generator
At the
if
end
you
of the
needed
day,
it. If you needed it, I mean, there's so much like advantageous things that you can do to help yourself later. I had already been running dehumidifiers and stuff, and I'm glad I'm running it now. I got water. I don't have a lot, but I got enough. I probably got about the same amount of water you do, but it's under the floor is the problem.
Yeah.